Howdy, y'alls. Shh. She's asleep right there. Okay, so Zena's not asleep now. I just saw her ears pop up. Hi, Katie. Okay, so anyway, I had a couple of questions from some of my viewers, and I've had somebody say, "Well, you need to be up closer to the camera." Well, culturally, here's the thing: for people who are not familiar with watching bagpipe videos and stuff like that, it's all about the hands. So when I'm playing, people are watching my hands. Probably some people watch my hands more than they listen to the music, and that's obvious in the way they comment. So that's okay, you know. However, so anyway, my Pakistani bagpipes. Either people love them or kinda. There's like not a in between with Pakistani bagpipes and parlor pipes and stuff like that. So anyway, I've had a couple of questions about blowpipe valves and stuff like that. Now I have my soprano parlor pipes are taken apart right now because I'm going to season the bag, and I don't know if I want to mess with the hemp and everything because I've got yard work to do today, and I got some stuff I want to do on my Oldsmobile, and I tend to get overly focused on what I'm doing, and then I lose track, and then I feel bad about not having gotten partial of my other projects done. And my grass, was away for five days, and in that time it started raining and everything like that. And now my grass is this tall, and I wanted to show off my crabapple tree, but the light is too bright back there in the background. So anyway, for my soprano Pakistani bagpipes, the valve, blowpipe valve, now this is going to be kind of ugly, and some of you guys are maintenance nuts are going to say, "Oh, okay, go set your hair on fire, and go out and run in circles, and do whatever you need to do." Okay, so anyway, this is my soprano Pakistani parlor pipe blowpipe valve, and it's a traditionally done. Doesn't really focus because the camera's focused on me, but it's a flapper valve, and I'm not going to touch this because they are a pain in the derriere. So that's it. The flapper is leather, and the staple is wrapped in. Now I had to modify it a little bit so that it fits without creating an air leak. So that's what it looks like. That's the traditional way that bagpipes valves have been done for years, and there's Jules for years and years and years and years and years, and if it works, it works. Okay. Now, I'm not a huge fan of these valves only because they, to me, probably I'm doing something wrong, but this valve slightly leaks all the time. So, and I can see partly why. I just need to bend the staple back a little bit, and it'll seal a little bit better. But that's not the thing. What I wanted to do was the drone cords on my soprano parlor pipes, Pakistani parlor pipes, are really, really stiff and super long. So these have been like this for 15 plus years, and they're dirty and they're old and they're kind of okay. Now I'm not going to do a video about tying in drone reeds or cords, but I did buy some new. They call them silk, but they're probably like nylon gold drone cords. So I'm going to install those and use white zip ties because I'm too lazy to stitch them in. That's a fact. So anyway, so that's the blowpipe valve for the soprano Pakistani parlor pipes, and you can see these are well played and well colored, or they have the aged patina on them. And just because somebody might be curious, the chanter for the soprano Pakistani parlor pipes is a regular chanter. Now this is a Pakistani chanter, and there's a brand out there. I don't know what the brand is, but I know that the material that they use has an awesome sound, and it's like a harder plastic. It's not ribbed. It's slightly shiny. I knew a lady when I was doing temp work at a place called Uline, and she could look at this plastic and tell me exactly what this plastic is. But she's in Irvine, California. I don't even know if she still works there anymore because that was all in a different universe. So for the soprano Pakistani parlor pipes, and these are, if you go to the website, they are Hakam Din. Yep, and now Hakam Din has been very good to me over the years, since the 2000s, for bagpipe supplies and everything like that. And I'm not deriding any of the other bagpipe manufacturers from Pakistan or India or whatever. They are just the people who I've always done business with, and they had a bag seasoning that was awesome. And I don't know what it was, but it seemed like it was wax dissolved in alcohol, and you'd season the bags, and it would work awesome. I could go 6 or 7 months without having to redo my bags. So everything's a little bit loose right now because I've been enjoying playing my pipes instead of working on them all the time. Now the drone reeds on the soprano bagpipes are from, let's see, I'll turn that like that. Turn that like that. Let's see. And like that. These drone reeds are all from Bagpipes Galore. And they fit the bore on the soprano Pakistani parlor pipes. As of the time that they were made. So I don't know if anything's changed in the years since I started using these parlor pipes. Now the thing is, I bought these for practice, and they ended up sounding so good that I just love them the way they are. Now these are the smallest ones. Now there's half-size ones, and there's the full-size ones, and I have a set of the full-size ones. Now everybody will deride Pakistani pipes, but the antique chalice bagpipes, from my experience, are perfectly fine. Now they might not pitch or anything to modern standards, but the modern standards for pitch are starting to come down for solo performances. Now I don't know what the deal is with the bands, because the higher pitch tends to get better ratings to the human ear. It's just human nature. That's the way it is. Now these are kind of ugly and dark because I play these a lot. And then for a specific response to a question, and I think it had to do with my base Pakistani parlor pipes. Because I am not afraid to experiment and try new solutions to problems that are hard to solve. Now, on the internet, there's a nipple valve that is sold somewhere in Mid-East. It might be a Mid-East Bagpipe Products brand of flapper valve for the pipes. Well, I was trying to find a valve for my base Pakistani parlor pipes, and I'm going to do this with great trepidation because but the base Pakistani parlor pipes I have been a challenge to get to. If you've seen some of the other videos, with these pipes, the base drone was not finished all the way. It still had sawdust in it and everything. I had to straighten out a clothes hanger and clean it out and everything like that. So that's the base Pakistani parlor pipes. I have no idea what brand they are because they're definitely not Hakam Din. And they aren't Dura. I think I pronounced that right. And so I don't know what the combing is or standard. I think these are just made in some shop that copied an outside pattern and then drilled 1/4-inch holes through them. These pipes are really difficult to set up over time and get to sound good. But one of my viewers had a specific question as to what kind of valve did I use on the blowpipe. So I'm doing this with great trepidation because if this valve pops off, it's a pain in the derriere to get back on and get back to working right. So there it is. These are the base Pakistani parlor pipes. Now the chanter is the Hakam Din. I'm not going to take this apart because it's 3 different pieces. So I don't want to be messing with too many things at one time because these pipes they're not delicate in the sense that I can drop them on the ground and I'm not worried about them breaking because the wood is soft enough to handle anything like that. It's taking things apart that are working that you don't need to take apart because they're working. So I'm doing this with great trepidation. So okay. So that's the valve, the blowpipe valve. Works great. This valve, now I went to an auto parts store because now this valve, there's one sold on the internet by Pakistani manufacturers, okay, but this valve I went to O'Reilly Auto Parts or AutoZone or any car parts store that sells vacuum line plug kits. Okay, so you have to be creative with this. So what it is, I found this plug. I went through a whole package. They're cheap. Okay, they're less than $6 for a box like this. They are inexpensive. So don't be afraid to buy 2 or 3 boxes if you're going to develop a passion to get these pipes to work. So, sip of coffee here. My throat's getting dry. Well, there you are. And then you just slice with a razor. Be careful with the razor. If you have a pocket knife or some kind of cutting instrument that works safely for you, you just cut off the top. Don't cut it off all the way. You just cut it far enough so that you can blow through it. Works great. Okay. Now, this is I'm going to send a message right now to you Pakistani manufacturers. Okay. This is a 10-cent valve. Okay. So you guys that are out there selling your Pakistani valves, which work great. I'm not criticizing that part at all. But I've seen this valve on the internet selling for 30 bucks. Okay. So I would buy from you all the time. The regular Pakistani valves. First of all, if I could find them, and second of all, I would pay up to $1.50 for a valve like this if I didn't have to do all the work to do this. I'm not going to pay more than $2 for a rubber valve. This valve is synthetic. It will never deteriorate or anything like that. Natural rubber degrades over time. This is synthetic. It's silicone rubber. Now the only problem is with this, you have to get used to this particular type of valve, is when you first start using it, it's sticky. So what I use is I just use lotion, hand lotion, as a lube between the flapper part so that the valve doesn't stick. And it'll stick for the first 10 or 15 hours of playing. And it's kind of frustrating because the blowing in the bag and the drones it's so finely balanced that when the valve sticks, it'll throw your rhythm off. Well, like I'm one who can talk about having good rhythm. But anyway, when the valve sticks, it'll throw your rhythm off because you're blowing, trying to blow smoothly, and when you take a breath in and the valve seals, that's where it messes up your timing on your blowing. It's frustrating at first. You could probably use baby oil or lotion or anything that's non-toxic to keep the valve from sticking. See, because when I first blew on it, it was stuck shut. And as you blow through it, your moisture will lubricate from your breath, or goober, whatever you want to say. It will loosen up the valve. And it's not correct. It leans off to one side, and it's kind of the bag on the base parlor pipes is Rexine. So it's really floppy and it's easier to get stuff out. So anyway, that is the valve, okay, for the base Pakistani parlor pipes. Right now I can go out to AutoZone or O'Reilly Auto Parts, or I don't know, there's other companies out there that sell stuff, because I'm not going to promote one brand over another because I work on cars also. So I spread my business out amongst the community. In other words, I'm active in my entire local community when it comes to car parts and other stuff, because I support my local community. Even if my playing is mediocre and everything like that, I've been invited to go play. So what is it? I can't think of it right now. Open mic night at a couple of clubs. So, by people who've heard me play. Now, I'm not going to make any excuses. So anyway, there's that. And, trying not to mess this up because I just don't want to mess it up. Perfect. Seals perfectly. No problem. It's not sticking now. You can hear how noisy it is. The middle tenor, these are stone cold. I haven't warmed them up or anything like that. So the middle tenor, it starts out flat, and then I have to sharpen it up, and then once it's settled in, because that's just every set of bagpipes has its own personality. Just so you know. So if you have weirdness in your bagpipes, not a problem. Now, this particular set of pipes, the tenors are bagpipes galore, tenor or drones that are the standard from the ones that you saw on my soprano ones. The only thing is, because the bore was so wonky on the bass drones for the bass Pakistani parlor pipes, I could not find a drone reed that would work with these, so I had to get creative. Now, Pakistani parlor pipes are non-standard in every way. Okay, so I searched all over the internet for everything, and I found drone reeds for Ulan pipes. Those are the Irish pipes, which I would, if I had another lifetime to live, I would. Those have such a specific voice that speaks to me. But I've settled into, I can't do everything. But this drone reed is a bass drone reed from, it's a Pakistani manufacturer. It's aluminum with a carbon looking tongue. And that's what makes this full bass sound. Now, they come in packs of 3. They're kind of expensive. But as far as I'm concerned, totally worth it. I think this is the bass one. The tenor one is more fussy. And the top joint on this set of pipes is all the way down. But because the bore is so weird on this set of pipes, I actually think these were probably supposed to be wall hangers and not supposed to work. But so that's what it is. This is an Ulan drone reed with the, I don't know if it's carbon fiber. So it looks like carbon fiber because it has that weave to it. So there it is. Now, I haven't touched anything on the blade or anything like that. I'm just showing this off. and you know how the blowpipe valve is. I hope that the blowpipe valve thing, you might have to, on the blowpipe, on the tenon, when it goes in, you might have to modify it a little bit. Don't go crazy. Just use a rough grit sandpaper to make clearance. And I've got it set up so that the valve is actually held on by the tension against the bore, the blowpipe bore. So So, there you go on that part. Now, this video is a little bit long, so I'm going to finish here. I'm going to do a second video because I kind of got a project going. So anyway, I hope that answered some questions. There's two styles of valves. You can get the small pipe flapper valve. You might have to do some modifications to your blowpipe. And use hemp. I use waxed hemp, this chanter is in this chanter here. Okay, you guys see, I can see I've got tape on almost everything. That's because, well, this is the most non-standard practice chanter I have ever found. It's a practice chanter, so I've had to retune it a couple of times, and when the top it gets a little bit scuzzy, it's not even perfect. But anyway, I end up going through on eBay and purchasing lots of chanter reeds, a lot of chanter reeds and lots of chanter reeds, because I'm trying to find reeds that work with this chanter, because it's a pretty unique chanter, which is a permanent thing. So someday, when I'm 110 years old and I pass away, hopefully these pipes don't get chucked on a campfire and burned, which would be tragic. Or I could someday, when I'm brave enough, I don't want to swap personal information, but I have a piping friend, internet friend in Ireland, that if something were to happen to me, I would probably want these pipes to go to him, because he can appreciate what they are. And I'm not saying I'm giving them away now, because I've still got lots of stuff I want to do with this set of parlor pipes, but I would want these pipes to go to somebody who would appreciate what they are, and not because they're Pakistani and you have your derisions about Pakistan and whatever. Okay, I don't really care about that because this set of pipes are unique and special. In my opinion, I don't really care about what somebody else thinks. It's the sound that's important. So anyway, so my what I bought some. Well, I could start there. So anyway, that's it. The major thing was the blowpipes. There's two ways. You have the flappers, and you have garbage trucks outside, and the auto parts vacuum things. Be creative. If you're going to work with an instrument that is funky, it won't necessarily tune with other people, then try to make it sound as good as you can with tuning that works with the drones. No matter where the drones pitch at, no matter where the chanter pitch is at, you can make music, even though it's on an odd or weird scale. If the scale fits the drones, that's what's important. It doesn't matter what pitch the entire set is at, in my opinion. If you're playing solos, be unique. That's what this whole internet thing is, YouTube and everything. Be unique. Be your own person. Now, I have a set of Piper's Choice pipes that if I had the time to go and play with other pipers, I would have to teach myself how to tune with other pipers. And I'm not afraid to ask for help. The people that when I first started piping in Costa Mesa, and West Coast, WUSPA, Western United States Pipe Band Association, those guys were hugely tolerant of me. And nobody derided me. I had a lot of support and everything like that. And my assumption is, unless somebody's a total bagpipe snob, who only associates with other bagpipe snobs, which is fine. I mean, freedom of association. Then, don't pay attention to those guys. Pay attention to the people who want to support you and help you succeed. Not the ones who are going to say that, and nitpick every little thing they're going to do. They could say, well, maybe you could try doing something different, or try it this way, or your Toraluas are backwards, or whatever. That's what's important, is people that want to bring you along and people that support you. And okay, they're going to make fun of you once in a while, but stay away from the ones who will deride you for being different, because some people just have to conform, and maybe you're not the one who has to conform. Now, it's good to be able to play along with other people. Play along as in play, and play along and be able to strike in. Now, I've always worked, so I've had a hard time being able to go and compete as much, especially since in Kentucky, I was in an oasis of nowhere. The awesome people. There's nothing wrong with Paducah, Kentucky. I love all the people that I have as friends in Kentucky. They've always supported me as far as my piping, and I know my piping's not the greatest, but I was actually able to do some weddings and some funerals and stuff like that. Nobody complained, and I had other pipers would send a gig to me, and stuff like that. I had some interesting stuff happen. So I play the simple tunes simple, and the complex tunes play for your own enjoyment. If you know you're not as good as or self-conscious about your playing or anything, that's just fine. As long as you're trying to make things better or make things sound better or improve your rhythm, which I'm rhythmically challenged, I freely admit that. And that's probably part of the reason why sometimes I play really fast, because it's easier for me to play fast for my own enjoyment. It's not because I don't care about other pipers and some of the current greats and stuff like that. They probably wouldn't like my piping. That's just life, But if it makes you happy, and you're showing progress of some sort. Now, I've been playing for a long time, so I kind of plateaued it at where I'm at, and I bought technology to help me, and ear-mounted eardrum metronomes help a lot. I tend to play more even at a faster pace. That's me. Playing slowly, I get caught up in thinking about what's going to happen next. I'm trying to be on autopilot. So anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching. I hope you got some information that's useful towards your piping. And if you, here she is again. Come here, kitty. So obviously she's not that into bugging me because I'm not playing my music. Hi, Xena. Oh, kitty cat. So anyway, you know, be creative. Pakistani bagpipes don't always fit into the standard. The larger flapper valves, like the initial one, to me are a pain in the derriere. I got addicted to moose valves, and moose valves work in almost every kind of standard size bagpipe on the planet. It would be really cool if they made small pipe size moose valves, but I think the parts would be so small you would have a breakage issue and condensation and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm trying not to ramble here, and thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody that watches my stuff. I hope you get some kind of value out of the information on obscure and strange stuff. And a message to Hakam Din. I have been hugely busy with all kinds of other stuff, living a normal life. I have yard work. I do my own yard work. I have my cars that I work on and stuff like that, and plus a full-time job. And if I won the lottery sometime, I would probably still have to work because I need to be around people to keep me sane. That's what, when my foot got hurt, probably terrible. Yeah. My cat has a fetish for lotion. Xena, what are you doing? I don't know if you can hear her purring. I guess I'm one of her kittens. Hi, kitty cat. Meow. So anyway, there it is. Thanks for watching. Carry on. She's not gonna let me put her down. Hold on, kitty. For real.